And here we have the Premier Kit. Ooh. Only 1,701 of these were made. A nice nod to the fanboy community. Personally, I'm not going to pay the price. Not going to happen. Now I'm going to give an honest review on this kit, and it's going to be straightforward and honest. Some people are not going to like it. Sorry, too bad, so sad, you're dad. Here's the deal. It's a good kit. It's not a great kit. I'm sorry. Now you can't see because I've spent a week on the upper and lower primary hull just getting rid of most of the deflector grid lines. I'm still working on the lower primary hull, but I'm telling you, as far as I'm concerned, these were cut way too deep. Now you've got to consider that the original grid lines, when they were put on the production model, were done with 5mm drafting pencil on an 11-foot model. And these were so deep and so thick, like I said, I had to spend a week sanding, priming, and painting, sanding, priming, and painting, sanding, priming, and painting. Just way too much work, totally unnecessary. Now, here's what the Premier Kit comes with. 2 different BC decks and bridges. 3 different sets of nacelle S-curve end caps. 2 different neck setups, one for the pilot version, one for the production version. Now, here are the pylons. Look at these. These were taped together for weeks. And when you squeeze the back end just to hold it, look how much they've warped. Now these came like this. Okay? I hate to say it, but you've really got to work to get these things straight. I even soaked these in hot, soapy dishwater, dried them off, and taped them together and stuck them in the freezer so that they would cool and reshape, and they pop back out. Now here's a perfect example. This was taped together weeks ago, and it has literally stretched and pulled against the tape to where it's warped back into its original shape. Now that is an issue. Here's another issue. Now this is my point of view. I think that base is worthless for something this big and heavy. It just isn't sturdy enough. So I never use the bases when I do buildups of these. I always come up with a custom base because that base is just pitiful for something this size and this weight. Now there are a lot of parts. The one thing that you don't have, even with the Premier Kit, is clear parts for lighting the shuttle bay deck and the bridge. Personally, I think those should have been included in the basic kit. Another drawback of these kits, whether it's the Premier Kit or the regular kit, is that you have to buy all of these extras to do the ship right. And they count on that. So you've got to buy brass etch parts, you've got to buy separate decals for weathering unless you do your own weathering. You've got to buy clear parts, you've got to buy their electronics to get the perfect effect, at least so they say. And I've looked at their electronics, and I'm going to show those in a separate little video, and they're not all that. Anyway, like I said, good kit, not a great kit. I'm going to show this when it's a little further along in another video. Here we have the Polar Lights 1/350th TOS lighting kit. Here's what's included. A couple little motors to make it spin, a couple of tower LEDs, a strip of surface mount LEDs, a couple of small boards for running your electronics, some connectors, LEDs, 2 more small boards for each nacelle dome, and some multicolored parts along with clear cast parts for lighting the shuttle bay. Personally, I think these should have been included in every one of the kits. I'm sorry, but come on, really. Now, that's what you get. for about $125, $150, depending on where you buy it. Now you see this box of stuff? I'm going to show you this in just a minute. I can do a lot more with this box of stuff than I can with this kit. And I'm working on my own circuit to replace the motors and the LEDs so that it's all electrical without a motor, no need for moving, spinning electronics. I'll get to that as soon as the electronic circuit's done, burnt in, and tested. Now here's what you get when you plug this in for the spinnies, for the nacelle effect, okay? Always bright or always on, bright white LEDs, 5 are almost always on or fluctuating, and 5 more are running in a pseudo-random pattern. What you get the color from is those multicolored pieces you put inside the nacelles. It takes a while for this circuit to burn in and start functioning right, which is kind of odd to me. I mean, that should fire up and get going immediately. At any rate, there's that. Here's what I got for just about the same price as that Polar Lights kit. 16.5 feet of RGB surface mount LED lighting. 16.5 feet of super bright white always on LED lighting. 16.5 feet always on super bright blue LED lighting. Two power supplies, 2 different remotes, 2 dedicated RF controllers, and a tactical controller with a dim switch that attaches or works with in tandem this remote. Now I can light 3 or 4 kits with what I've got here. The only thing I'd have to add would be remote controls and RF amplifiers. I've got enough lighting to light at least 4 kits. And I've got 2 power supplies. I mean, all they are is 12 volt DC power supplies. So that was for about $140 after taxes and shipping and everything else. So there you go. There will be a video showing some of this a little bit later.